Hey, Michelle Cedarberg here, sharing some more information from my soon-to-be released new book, The Success Energy Equation. In a previous video, I hinted at this idea of 21st and a quarter century stress, and so today I thought I would share a little bit more about that important concept. Life is busy. I know that it's an overused statement, but only because it's so freaking true. We've got crazy and conflicting family schedules. We've got long work hours, a lot of it online these days. We've got heavy workloads, and that is only part of the problem. You see, we are living in the 21st century, which is the most technologically advanced time in history. And although computers and devices have improved our lives in many ways, and most of us can't imagine living without our smartphones, that connectedness influences our stress levels, our relationships, and our overall health and well-being. Excuse me a second while I check my phone. I call it 21st and a quarter century stress, which is a pervasive, unrelenting, tech-driven, FOMO-fed stress that has us on the go physically, mentally, and emotionally all day long. And for most of us, that madness begins in the grogginess of the early morning, where we're fumbling for the light of our smartphone and scrolling through the cyber world as our first entry point into the day. Can you say insane? We're living in an age of hyper-connectedness, checking work emails at all hours, texting when we should be talking, surfing mindlessly when we have a spare moment, scrolling other people's lives instead of living our own, or fanatically nurturing our online lives for an audience of pseudo-friends. We're letting our self-esteem drop with every comparison to their perfect, edited, selfie-cataloged lives. I'm absolutely guilty of all of it, and it has definitely caused me excess stress. Can you relate? So let's talk about stress. Typically, we categorize stress in two basic ways: acute stress or chronic stress. Acute stress is stress with adequate recovery. It's a single bout short-term stress, like a tough online meeting, getting stuck in traffic, or having an argument with your teenager. When that happens, when that stress is present, you'll experience typical stress response like increased heart rate and breathing. Your gut and muscle tension will increase. You'll have a higher breathing rate, and you probably won't feel very happy. But then the meeting will end, or you'll get out of traffic, or your teenager will stomp off to their bedroom, and you will take a deep breath of air, and your body will recover from the stress. Chronic stress is long-term stress or stress without adequate recovery. Now, you're probably pretty good at navigating the odd, challenging day, but if every meeting is tough, or traffic is always bumper to bumper, or your home life is fraught with family arguments, or all of the above, recovery from stress will be increasingly difficult. Under chronic stress, your body has to work harder to help you function normally, and if it's prolonged, it can lead to stress-related health problems like high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, ulcers, chronic pain, even depression. So how is 21st and a quarter century stress different from chronic stress? Well, in many ways, it isn't. It is long-term stress without adequate recovery. It is ever-present in myriad forms, just like chronic stress, but I propose that it is more pervasive because we're connected 24/7 to the digital space, to news, to fake, bad, or otherwise, social media, to apps, to games, to streaming programs, or videos, or shopping, or pop-up ads, emails, text messages, any number of alerts that need to keep up with all of it. Plus, we can access work-related information at all hours of the day, especially these days working from home, so our workday has no boundaries. Now, while technology has enhanced so many aspects of work and life, the bandwidth overload it creates affects us mind, body, and spirit like never before. Every day we are tasked with navigating all that is happening around us in the physical space, with the added burden of processing the digital noise that is inundating us from the online space and the little supercomputer that we call a smartphone, which I'm beginning to think isn't very smart. This daily physical digital juggling act means your body and mind never truly get recovery time. I want you to really think about that. We never get to recover. We never have those moments of just gosh, I'm bored. Wait a second, I need to check my phone. That's what ends up happening. The pervasive stress that happens to us as information is pushed into our devices and that we perpetuate because of our dependence on these devices, that creates 21st and a quarter century stress. It draws down our mental, physical, emotional, and especially our cognitive bandwidth until we lose sight of what's truly important to us. My book, The Success Energy Equation, explores 21st and a quarter century stress and what you have to do to push past it towards a life of greater clarity, confidence, and success. And that starts with awareness and a bit of honesty. If you're feeling the effects of 21st and a quarter century stress, the first step is to admit that you have a problem. How much does information overload from excessive screen time impact your day? Get honest about that. These devices are addictive, and I, for one, know that I've become even more attached to mine because of lockdown, lack of contact. I've used this device as my connection to the outside world, and even as lockdown has eased, I still keep her close. I twitch if I don't know where she is. That simple awareness for me, that I'm phone dependent, has motivated me to attempt a shift in my behaviors, however small. So these are some of the things that I'm doing. My first check-in of my phone doesn't happen until I'm sitting down for breakfast. That means I've got to get up and do my morning routine, whether it's a shower, brushing my teeth, meditating, getting my breakfast cup of coffee, sit down, then I will look at my device. I only use one device at a time, so please don't judge me for this. No more news on the iPad while I am checking through Instagram while the TV is on in the background. Yes, I'm guilty. Please don't judge. If I'm in my office, I leave my phone on the charger in the kitchen, and I'm trying to be more strategic around social media. I'm trying not to look at news after 9 p.m. I'm reading books with pages that you actually have to turn. And no matter how much I love my phone, I do not take her to bed with me anymore. How many of us need to do that? Small steps to greater awareness. So how about you? I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you identify with 21st and a quarter century stress? If you do, let me know how it's impacting your life in the comments below. And if that is the case, in what small ways can you shift your awareness and shift away from your device in small ways so that you can reduce that 21st and a quarter century stress and free up a bit of your bandwidth to focus on what truly matters? Because that's what it comes down to. These things are sucking away that creativity and critical thinking and problem solving, and just moments to just be with our thoughts. So share your ideas below. Subscribe to this and my other socials. Share this video with anybody who might need a nudge. Subscribe at michellecedarberg.com to my weekly messages so you can find out about the book release when it's happening. There's going to be all sorts of fun giveaways. And until next time, I am Michelle Cedarberg reminding you we've got one chance to do this life. I say dare to live it big and dare to be more aware of how 21st and a quarter century stress may be impacting your success.